and welcome to our video series Leadership Talks. Today we have with us Nicki Mehra, an accomplished entrepreneur and investor, a general partner at Solmark, a valued board member at Magic Software. Nicki's expertise stems from his extensive experience as a co-founder of TechSpan, managing partner at Headstrong, and his instrumental role in the growth of HCL America into the renowned HCL Technologies. His global perspective gained from leadership roles across US, Mexico, Europe, and Asia will surely bring invaluable insights to our discussion today. So let's delve into inspiring conversation with Mr. Nicki Mehra. Hello, Nicki. How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Monica. That was too much of an introduction. Okay. I don't know if I live up to all the good words you've said in that and the experience we have.
I'm pretty confident about it.
Okay. So
we'll start with, the very first section of our talk, which is Know Your Leader. The idea is that, people who are watching this video are able to know you and, know you beyond your designations.
So I've been in the US for 32 years. That's about half my life. So I moved here when I was 32. I come from a middle-class family, business background. My parents moved during partition. My early part of my childhood was in Old Delhi. So I grew up in Old Delhi and then we moved to Greater Kailash, and Greater Kailash is still our family home. I have a brother and a sister, both of them live in Delhi. Two kids, a daughter who's married, son who is working. He used to be at Cisco. He's moved to a startup now. He lives in the city. So we are empty nesters, as they call it out here. Going about my education in the beginning, right? I went to Cambridge School, which is at Shrinivas Puri near Lajpat Nagar. So I did my high school from there. And then I joined Shriram College of Commerce, did my BCom honors, and my father wanted me to be a chartered accountant. I started on that line, but within 2-3 months, I got a offer from DCM, which was a very renowned industrial group in the 70s and 80s. As a management trainee. So I dropped CA and joined DCM as a management trainee, which was outstanding because they gave me a 9 month of a kind of in-house training. So it was classroom training, plus you go out to one of the units to study manufacturing, to study HR, to study accounting. So it was a kind of a mini MBA and you were paid during that period. So it was just fantastic.
Right.
And then I was kind of fortunate that I got picked up by DCM Data Products. So DCM Data Products was the computer company, and DCM was one of the largest computer company in the 1980 timeframe. So HCL and DCM were the two big names, and then there was another company which was run by Sarabhais called ORG, and then there was ICIM, which was a legacy of ICL, a British company, and IDM, which was a legacy of IBM when IBM moved out of India in 1977. So I got into DCM Data Products. They taught me programming. Then I became a programmer analyst. My first 2 years of my career was writing code in BASIC and COBOL for various companies, including companies which I remember, a company in Amritsar called Pratap Steel and Rolling Mills.
Okay.
And then a listed company, I don't know if it still exists in India, called VAM Organics. We wrote a share accounting application for them. And this was all COBOL and BASIC. Okay, now by using all these things and giving you this vintage, I must be sounding like a dinosaur already. Like the guy is too old.
No. In fact, I would rather want to know more about your childhood stories from India, from Delhi. Is there anything that you remember, like any of your favorite childhood memory that you remember about Delhi?
I still really cherish the memories which were from Old Delhi. Okay. I still whenever I still watch cricket, so I would subscribe to cricket whenever World Cup happens. I watch IPL, and my childhood memory is playing cricket on weekends at the grounds at Red Fort. Today, when you go there, you can't even go to those grounds because they've been barricaded. We used to go there, put our wickets. There will be 10 different teams who will be playing. It was just fun. It was different. I enjoy the foods of Old Delhi. Uh, Growing up, my thing started from, I still cherish the mutton korma from Kareem, the
Wow.
kebabs from Jawahar, the kulfi from Gyani, the jalebis of Dariba. So all those things really resonate with me. And whenever I'm in Delhi, I don't eat so much now, but I still make an attempt to go there and still kind of dip into that taste and kind of relive those memories.
Great. So you were talking about your school, Cambridge schools. How are you in school? Like, were you a natural born leader from the very start, and people would tell you that, or tell your parents that, this guy will be somebody big, and,
No, no,
he'll be a leader and all that. So was it like that, or was it
no, no.
just the opposite?
No, I don't think so. I was a leader of any sort, but I was outgoing. I was extrovert. I would make small talk with everybody. And just to give you a tidbit out of old Delhi, right? I was fascinated by going abroad as a child, and we used to
Right.
live very close to Jama Masjid.
Okay.
And I would have been what, about maybe 8, 9 years old or something like that. And I used to have a hobby of stamp and coin collection.
All
Now,
right.
it was very difficult to get foreign stamps. Yeah, I would actually, and this is, I'm talking about mid 60s. I would actually go to Jama Masjid, and all these foreigners will come there
Mm-hmm.
from their buses. So I will try and catch on to some foreigner and start talking to them as a 9, 10-year-old kid, or maybe, yeah, around that age. And I will actually talk to them and kind of show them around Jama Masjid. I'll take them and give them a kind of a free tourist tour. And in return, I will ask them that if you have any small coins for my collection, you can give me. And I'll really appreciate when you go back home, send me a card with some stamps on it so that
Stamps.
I can put them in my stamp collection. And
Wow.
at times I would get one of these guys to come home, because if somebody was really kind of pally with you, I would get them home and say, come and have tea at our house. So my mom would be really surprised and get angry that, why do you just go and pick up somebody from the road and bring them home and say, serve them tea? But I was like that, and I used to manage within the resources given. So, like I said, we came from a middle class family. Father was re-establishing himself, and we had limited resources. So I tried to make the best out of my resources. I was kind of little creative. Like, for example, I'll give you another example of my entrepreneurship from childhood. So there used to be a store called Novelty Stores in Jangpura, and
Okay.
it is still there.
Mhm.
So it used to be run by a guy called Shanti Swaroop, and we would go there for coffee. It was a nice hangout place, like Deep Halls used to be at one point in time. Yeah, so this was a kind of a small joint in Jangpura. I had friends there, so we would go there. And during the 70s, to get your music right, you had to have somebody put it on a cassette tape for you. There was no original music you could buy. So Shanti
Right.
would actually make recordings on a tape and give it to you. So he
Okay.
would charge 30 bucks, 30 rupees at that point of time for a C90 tape.
Mhm.
And I would ask him, Shanti, why do you charge so much? He says, it cost me 24 bucks to buy the empty cassette, and $5 for my hard work. So
Right.
I said, okay. So I went out and checked how much are these cassette tapes available at Bhagirath Palace. So they were available for 180 rupees. So I next day
180 rupees
for
for.
10,
Oh,
10.
okay.
So they
Yeah.
came in boxes of 10, and
Right. Right.
150
Right.
rupees you could get 10. So I asked
So it's
Shanti Swaroop,
18 rupees each.
so I said, if you buy it from 24, I'm your customer. Why won't you buy it from me at 24 bucks? He said,
Right.
okay, get it. I said, okay. So I borrowed money from my mother, bought it for 180 bucks, went to Shanti Swaroop, sold it for 240 bucks, made 60 bucks in return, gave 5-10 bucks to my mom, who said, wow, one day interest is toward. So,
Wow.
so I was kind of entrepreneur to some
Very
extent,
start.
even as a childhood. So
Wow.
yeah, but I was not kind of a leader that maybe I was I was a prefect in school. I was head of the what you used to have, those groups in school.
Houses,
Houses. I was
clubs or
the house
houses.
leader. I was the house leader. So I did my
Yeah.
share of things in school.
So, what were your favorite subjects, or maybe the topics that drew, your interest, apart from, of course, stamp collection and toy collection, and sorry, coin collection. And how's today's Nicki Mehra similar or different from that kid?
Uh, so when I was young, I really enjoyed mathematics. So math was my favorite subject till such time I think I came to eighth or ninth, and they introduced calculus. I just couldn't grasp calculus at all, and I lost interest in mathematics. And then my favorites during my high school became economics and accounting. And the only commonality between these three subjects is they're all quantitative subjects. They all look at possibilities, they do analysis of data. And I've been a quantitative person. I've not been a very kind of a English language kind of a guy. So I enjoy quantitative subjects, and they've stayed with me. In fact, accounting and economics both are financial. They help you analyze a business. They help you make better decisions. So I think whatever I learned out of economics and accounting during that time, it still kind of stays with me. It helps me in terms of whatever my role is at this stage of my life.
Yeah. So from India to US, how and where, it all started?
Wow. So my journey in India was, starting from DCM, I moved to HCL in 82. And I was always based in Delhi. I would never want to take any position outside of Delhi because I was kind of just spoiled kind of kid who would not do anything, because when you stay with your parents, you got everything available to you, and all your money which you make, all the money which you make is for your entertainment.
Right.
So I would not do that. And it was once I got married in 89, I took the first job out, and I was posted to Calcutta as the regional head. So it was a big position. I was number one honcho sitting out of Calcutta office, having 3 satellite offices reporting to me. I had 200 people who directly reported to me. I was responsible for 1/4 of the country in HCL at that point of time. And in 91, I got the opportunity when HCL was starting HCL America. It was not even called HCL Technologies then. It was just a subsidiary of HCL of that time, Hindustan Computers. And we moved to HCL America. So it was Arjun, myself, Sandeep, Sahai. So we moved to US in 1991 to start what is IT outsourcing business. And that is what we started from. And that move from a regional head and coming to the US initially was kind of a challenging move, because sitting in India, I had a company car, driver, company apartment, chauffeur, 4 servants at home.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
true.
here to the US.
All the help at home and everything.
Not only help, even at work. I was not cold calling anymore. So
Right.
US, now you're supposed to do the work. You're given a phone and you don't know the country, and you have to start finding your customer, trying to create the base. IT outsourcing was not known in the US that time. So you had to sell the concept that we can get the work done in India. And it was a challenge for me, and how I turned around and kind of cajoled myself at that point of time was that you have to roll up the sleeves. So if the work requires you to step down and roll up the sleeves, because if I don't work at the ground level, I will never understand what the market is, what the customer needs. How will I do a managerial role? So how will I support a team if I myself have never worked in this environment? So initially, a few months it was tough, but once you started succeeding, and like I always say, nothing succeeds like success. So you have to roll up your sleeves, find your success, and once you get success, nothing stops you. It's a self-breeding prophecy, and the more you become successful, more easy it becomes to get more successful.
All right. So do you have rich experience, as you were, just mentioned, and I've read about it as well. So experience of launching and running businesses, process management, technology solutions, outsourcing services, as you just talked about. And you've also executed mergers and acquisitions. So what out of all these experiences of yours has been the best so far, or something that you've enjoyed the most so far?
Um, I've enjoyed all of them. See, because I personally feel that if you don't enjoy a role, you should give up that role.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, every kind of role which you get, there is learning in it. It is intellectually stimulating. It helps you learn and grow both personally and professionally.
Right.
So if somehow you get stuck in a role which you don't like, I personally would advise anybody who's listening to this, just find a new role, move to something which you enjoy, because enjoyment and intellectual stimulation actually is key for any success.
But I think what you're saying is something which I think is a little risky nowadays, because looking at the generation today, they are very confused as to what they like, what they don't like, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. So for them, it will be more like jumping from one role to the other, and that could be quite risky.
Not necessarily. The good news is, see, from where we came, the opportunities were much less. Today, you have a lot more opportunities.
Exactly.
So that gives you the option. That gives you the option to choose and find out what is right for you. So, like for example, I don't think so I could have lasted very long as a programmer analyst. And I got an opportunity to move to business management. I moved into business and started selling. It was risky at that point in time. I was not sure whether I'll be a good salesperson or not, but then it worked out. So you should not kind of be risk averse especially in the initial part of your career, because it's key for you to find out what is your sweet spot. So
Right.
Make an attempt, and once you get your sweet spot, I personally think that try and stay with it, try and become better in it, and try and become the best in it.